Morning, everybody, and welcome to Guesswork Garage. It's been over a year since I've posted something, and some of you are probably wondering why. Keep wondering. I'm not going to tell you. Today, we're going to be working on this 1988 Subaru Loyale, which blew a head gasket about 6 months ago. And there was actually supposed to be a separate video on this. I'd already said that there was going to be a third video. This isn't the one that I wanted to do, but it's the one I have to do. In that 6 months, I no longer have my truck. This is the only thing we got that's four-wheel drive, and we need it because it's starting to snow. So how are we going to fix this? Well, we could do it the right way. We could strip the engine down, get the heads rehoned, make sure everything's straight and flush, replace the head gaskets, and move on correctly. Or bars leaks, head gasket sealer, and a radiator hose repair kit from like 2018. Because I don't really have time for this to just sit here, and honestly, the motor that's in it, it's not going to last too much longer. There's no point in me throwing new head gaskets in it. Like, it's coming out anyway because we need to replace it with an EJ22. I also just observed something that's really funny. We are actually missing a spark plug wire. And I do not have extras. Let's get to it. And the nice part is, I know that the head gasket is completely gone without having to really look at the dipstick, because if I stick my finger down into the reservoir and give it some of what your mom asked for last night, that's not how coolant is supposed to look. That is disgusting. There's actually like metal bits in there too. So like it's probably pretty messed up, but we're going to run it anyway because it's what we got. We've got new coolant and new motor oil, a new oil filter and stuff that's all going to go into it. We just got to make it run well enough to do the job at hand and make it through the winter. And then in the spring, it's getting a new motor anyway. So it works out in spades. How the hell am I going to drain this? So Bars Leak's website does not indicate anything about pulling out the coolant that's already in the car. And I'm fluctuating right now in between, should we pull the coolant and just be like, you know what, we're going to be safe, we're going to pull the coolant, I bet it's gross. This stuff also does not go well with antifreeze, apparently. And I don't remember what's inside of this because it's been a while. I never flushed the coolant system out, so I have no idea what's in it. So I'm going to see if I can reach under here and open the petcock and dump the juice out. And if I can't dump the juice out, then I guess we're just going to send it as it is. Seems fair. So, we started draining the coolant. Actually, if you look down right now, it's draining a lot faster. I can hear it. Hopefully it's draining into the catch pan. I hope it is. Anyway, so this was full of oil and water, right? Watch this. So I dumped a little bit of this in there. It's just hot water, right? And then did this. And now it's spraying it into the reservoir. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because it's how that kind of stuff works. It's like a syringe action. It's just really, really funny to me. Oh no, she's gone dry. Give it a little harder. So you're not supposed to use antifreeze with this Bars Leak stuff. Nowhere around me sells straight coolant. Nowhere. I've been farming fleet stores. I've been a little bit of everywhere, and the only thing that you can get is concentrate, which you can dilute down, or water. That's it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just out of season. So we're going to try to see if we can dilute this down a little bit. This is also for a diesel truck that was on sale. What do you want me to do? So let's get some of this junk in here. Good way to see if it leaks on the floor. According to what I read, this makes no difference. And I've run this type of stuff in cars before. It did make a difference. Can't remember what the difference was, though. The car still ran. Can't have been all bad, right? I really wonder what the capacity for this thing is. You know what I forgot? We have to patch that hose. Still. I totally forgot about it. We probably ought to do that before we run the car. It's not like this is going to leak from there to there, from here to there. So I'll go ahead and finish doing it, but I got to make sure I patch that. So, not gone well. We have a hose that is completely compromised and can't be repaired with the kit that we have, because the break in the hose is on a curve. They don't manufacture this hose anymore, so I'm going to have to find some type of a short universal one that follows the same goofy pattern. It turns out the capacity for the coolant reservoir in this thing inside of the radiator itself is approximately a gallon. So the gallon that I had to ditch into it filled the motor back up. So I have to start the process all over again with a new hose, if I can find one. The unfortunate part is that hose in particular that I'm trying to find is I've had a really hard time trying to get anybody to understand literally anything, because you tell them exactly what hose it is, and then they send you the wrong one 2 or 3 different times. And then it's like, okay, I'll try to just do a repair on it myself. The repair hasn't held, but we'll get it figured out. It's just not going to be today, because I don't have any hose that fits that, nor do I have the ability to vulcanize rubber in order to keep it together in order to hold the pressure that is required. Emptying the reservoir is not a big deal. We can just dump all the coolant and deal with it at a later date. It's not a problem. The problem is that hose is ruptured, and now sitting here while it was running, which, by the way, it does run, but we'll show you. Give me a second and I'll fire it up. So if you look over there, there's a hose, kind of an S-curve going. That's the guy that's giving us all the problems. Now, it's not a huge leak, and we could kind of roll with it for a while if we wanted to. I'd really hate for that hose to let go on the highway and then have to have the car towed home. These screw-through clamps would not come off. They were just stuck, like locked in completely. So I finally just had to take a pair of vice grips and pull them apart. They've been replaced with the standard screw types. These are junk. They're going in the garbage. I think maybe we'll see if one of the local auto parts stores has any universal hose, universal flexi hose. A lot of people hate that stuff, but if they don't make the part, what the hell else are you supposed to do? Just not drive the damn thing? No, I don't think so. That'd be dumb. What are you doing out here? So, auto parts store, maybe the junkyard. Maybe we'll have this thing running by the end of the day. Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. Well, we were able to get plug wires from AutoZone. These have been sitting in the window so long, they've changed colors. But, yeah, we got those now. So, I've only been doing this stuff for a year. and then took a year off because of things that were out of my control. And now I'm back again, and I'm already making rookie mistakes. We changed out the hose. We managed to find the hose, the one that Rock Auto could not find me. For whatever reason, our local AutoZone had it, which is just crazy to me. I can't believe that they actually had it. But on top of that, they also had a set of spark plug wires for this thing, which I only needed one, but I'll replace them all eventually, probably, maybe. But now that's out of the way. Now we have to drain about half or better of the coolant that we dumped into the system to test it, in order for us to fill it with the stuff that is supposed to be used to seal the head gasket, which unfortunately the water for which has gone cold. It's supposed to be done with warm water. We're out of warm water. So we might have accidentally solved the problem. But it's bringing me more questions than answers. This thing runs great now. The blue smoke that was there on startup is gone. There's no white smoke to indicate a blown head gasket. So what might have happened? Well, I think that somehow, maybe in a state of confusion, this got filled with oil. Not long before this thing acted up, I had the oil changed. It's unlikely that that is the case, but I mean, I could always find my dipstick. It's somewhere right out in the open and obvious, and I can never find it. I always feel so dumb. Here it is. Let's see. There's no coolant in that. Nope. You know what it smells like? Kerosene. Is it possible that I've had this car parked for multiple months because I thought I had a blown head gasket and it turned out that it was just a bunch of things that came together in a way I didn't really expect to be that way? But I did just lick oil right off of the dipstick. It works though. You can tell what's in the oil a lot better than you can just by smell. It's fine. I'm sure it won't have any long-term effects. Paint chips, on the other hand. No, never without salsa. Well, I guess we take this thing for a test drive now. See what happens. Nope, we're sliding. So, it's a day later. It's not any warmer. I just happened to forget my vest and my hat inside because I'm a moron. We got to get the oil changed on this and then drive it about 45 minutes one way to go pick up some tables and to go meet up with our co-host and maybe get some introductions, maybe just bully her. I haven't decided yet. She's a nice girl, though. Believe me, you'll like her. She's definitely got everything that the camera wants, if you get my drift. Anyway, so okay. So this is the oil filter that came out of the Subaru. If you look real close, that's blue Loctite. And it was in the threads. It's now inside of the oil filter, but it was also on the threads. I didn't do that. I had the oil changed on this thing at Walmart because I had to get it done in a hurry because my former job refused to give me time off or ample time before shifts without any notice before calling me in. So I have no idea what other disaster I'm going to find, but I'm sure that's not the end of it. Also, here's that bung in the filter for the heater that burst into flame. All right, well, we're going to get this new filter in. Yes, it's a Fram. No, they're not the best. Honestly, if you get the opportunity, go with something like Wix. It's a better quality filter, but this was like $2. I ain't exactly made of money. So let's try to get this oil changed. We also don't know what size the socket is anymore, or I don't. The camera guy never do, but I did, and then I forgot. So that's where we're at. See if we can get this thing out of here. All right, so this car is four-wheel drive. Four-wheel selectable range. Four-wheel drive with selectable range. But it also has front-wheel drive. The way that you access that is you take the stick, go all the way down with it. Sometimes it fights you a little bit. You take it. It also doesn't help that this is not adhered by anything. You back up a few feet. Now you're in front-wheel drive. All right, well, we made it out here, not without almost getting a ticket. Now we just got to load the car up. This is the new co-host, Megan. Say hi, Megan.
Hi.
Fucking amateur. Her mic's not even on. You weren't even in this episode anyway, so it's fine. We'll see how the viewership goes for the next one.
Yeah, well, as long as it's not only you, I'm pretty sure it'll be better.
I'm pretty sure it will be. Anyway, y'all the day deserve.